Have you ever looked at your wardrobe that was filled with clothing and thought, I have nothing to wear? I'm really hoping that today's video can help you, because today I'm going to be sharing with you why we really feel like we have nothing to wear. Now, throughout being more minimal and moving, I have thought of so many things and I have realized so many things, and I'm going to share them with you today. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Tiana. If you're returning, it is so nice to see you again. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell to be notified when I upload next. Make sure to give this a thumbs up, and let's get into why we have nothing to wear. So every single morning I open up my wardrobe and I go, I have nothing to wear. Yet from wall to wall I have hangers and hangers and hangers of clothing, yet I have nothing to wear. The first reason could be because you're lacking basics. This was something that I realized I lacked very quickly when I moved out. Basics are just your basic pieces of clothing. A gray t-shirt, a white t-shirt, a black t-shirt, a staple pair of jeans, a staple pair of leggings. Those are not always the most fun pieces to go out and buy, and because they're not the most fun to go out and buy, it almost seems like we can forget about them. The other part that I feel with basics is that we can wear them day to day, but we almost forget that we wear them day to day because they're not as fun, they're not as colorful, they don't have patterns. So lacking basics is something that I severely lack. So go out and spend the money and actually shop for basics. It may not be fun looking for that proper white shirt, but let me tell you, the amount of wear and use you're going to get out of your white shirt is going to be worth it, because when you wake up in the morning, there are going to be so many outfits that you can create with just a simple white shirt or black shirt, whatever it may be. But lacking basics is such a huge part of why we have nothing to wear. The next part is because most of the items that we get are fast fashion, trendy, or cheap. I'm putting that in one. So a lot of the time when summer comes around, fall comes around, Christmas comes around, let's take Christmas for example. We can go out and buy so many $3 t-shirts that have Santa Claus on them, or so many $5 ugly Christmas sweaters, but how often are we actually going to wear them? And then for that whole month or the whole 2 months, then you're literally stuck with just these ugly Christmas sweaters that were only worth $3 that probably won't last you the year after. That's the same as summertime. When summer rolls around, you may buy so many cute floral pieces that were only $3, but then when you don't want a floral piece, that's all you have. That's what happened to me with stripes. There was something last year where I think stripes were in, maybe, I don't know, but every single store I went to, it was always stripes, 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 and all my tops were striped. All my dresses were striped, and it just got to the point where there were so many stripes that I couldn't get away from them. I had striped dresses, striped tops. Then when fall came around, my sweaters were striped. So it was kind of just like, okay, whoa, I went overboard. I spent, $3 on a dress because it was striped. Then I spent another $3, and it was kind of wasted because I got really tired of wearing those pieces. And not just that, the pieces that I bought last year, because they were cheaper, they don't fit me this year just because the material wasn't very good. So in my opinion, going kind of back with the basics, you might as well spend, let's say, $20 on a really nice gray dress that is going to last you a couple years and that you could probably incorporate into different seasons, rather than just spending $2 on a top that's literally gonna get maybe 1 or 2 wears out of, and then you get bored of it because you can't style it, or because the material just doesn't, hold up or look as good or feel as good. So stop purchasing just the cheap, the trendy, and the fast fashion type of clothing. I know when you see $5, you think, oh, it's only $5. Well, at the end of the day, how often are you gonna wear it? Just saying. The next one is prints. I personally find when it comes to prints and patterns, I get really drawn in and I think, ooh, I could wear that so many times. But for me personally, when it comes down to it, I find that if I wear a basic top like this today, I could wear this top in 2 days with a nice cardigan, and then I could wear this top again on the weekend with a jacket, let's say. But when it comes to a printed item, I feel like I can only wear that once. and then have to wait a little bit because I had worn it already. And I know it sounds a little bit odd, but it's so true in my opinion. And not just that, when it comes to styling printed items, I just feel like it's a lot harder. I just feel like when you start to buy a lot of printed items, such as leopard print, stripes, polka dots, and you're not having those solid basics, then it becomes a lot harder to style them. So for example, if you buy a really nice printed top, but you don't have the perfect pair of jeans to go with it, how are you gonna wear the top? So again, it kind of goes back into make sure you have your basics, make sure you spend the money on your basics, and when it comes down to it, it is really nice to have printed items, but you don't want to have a closet full because how many times are you going to wear that printed item? If you like your prints and you're able to style them, that is great. But for me personally, for every single day, I hardly take things out that are my prints. The next reason why we think we have nothing to wear is because we truly don't have anything to wear because it doesn't fit us. Stop hanging on to those items because you're gonna fit into them one day. Stop hanging on to those items because they're your motivation pieces. If they're too big, if they're too small, it's time to get rid of them. And that's just that. I have so many pieces in my wardrobe that are too big and baggy that I tried to make work that just don't. And there are so many pieces in my wardrobe that are just too small that in all honesty, if I lose some weight, I can go out and get something that fits my figure then. Just because you lose weight doesn't mean you're actually gonna want that piece by the time you can fit into it. So if there's something that is not fitting you right now, don't put it in your closet hoping that one day it will. Just get rid of it, and then when that time comes, then you can go shopping for the piece that will fit your body perfectly. I personally find a big chunk of my wardrobe is my fantasy self. A lot of the time, the items that we purchase we think we're gonna wear, we can envision ourselves wearing, but we actually don't. So for example, for me purchasing a pair of really high heels because I really want them and I think I'm gonna wear them, I probably won't, because day to day, I don't wear heels, and on the weekend, I won't wear heels. So at the end of the day, go through your wardrobe, and if it's not something that you wear day to day, and if it's not something that you wear for occasions or anything, I would highly recommend getting rid of. Like, be realistic. Are you actually gonna wear that piece or not? For example, I picked up a nice blouse because I really do want to get a nice blouse or two. And I picked one up that was polka dots, that is like Halloween theme almost. And I thought, oh yeah, I can totally see myself wearing this in October. In October, I didn't want to wear it until the day of Halloween, but then on Halloween, I didn't have the right pants to wear with it, and in all honesty, I didn't want to dress like it was Halloween. So again, that was kind of like a fantasy self thing where it was like, oh yeah, I can totally see myself wearing this like Halloween looking blouse. So go through your wardrobe and make sure that the pieces that are in there are actually you, that you will actually wear. So we all have an idea of like how we want to dress and things like that, but sometimes at the end of the day, we just wear our classic items and the other ones don't get worn. So maybe get rid of those fantasy self items. Honestly, it's probably because we just have way too many pieces and it's too much for our mind to process. I know when my closet is filled, it's like just take two pieces, I don't care if they match, and that's what I wear, because it's too much for me in all honesty. And when I look at everything, I start to get very, very overwhelmed, and it doesn't become fun. It almost becomes like, what can I wear? How can I match this? Instead of like, ooh, I can't wait to wear this piece with this piece because I can see it. And that's the thing, when we have too much, it's really hard to start seeing the pieces that we have. They get lost. We don't want to dig through them. Our mind is just everywhere. And not just that, in the morning when we wake up, we just want to get ready. And I feel like the frustration of going through all the clothing, or even the night before, going through all the clothing, trying to figure out what to wear, trying to match everything. It's so much easier when you just have a couple pieces to really make your outfits and know what you're going to wear and what's going to look good. So the reason why I feel like I have nothing to wear is because a lot of my pieces are not curated, and it's honestly just, I like this piece, I pick it up, I don't even envision what I could style it with in my current wardrobe, and I just feel like it's a lot of just stuff That's how I feel. And from now on, when I go out shopping, I want to make sure I have a vision in mind. Like, I can wear these shoes with these pants that are already in my wardrobe. This way I'm not bringing random pieces in. And I feel like that's what it was for me, because I wasn't one to constantly go for fast fashion. I wasn't one to always go for trendy pieces. It was more so, yeah, I like this sweater, and then that was it. I wouldn't think of what can I pair it with, or I wouldn't go shopping and think, what am I lacking? It was always just, let's just go shopping to go shopping. And I feel like that's how my closet really started to lack. Since I've started becoming a lot more minimal and really thinking about what I want to bring into my home and life, now whenever I bring a piece of clothing in, I really want to try my best to bring a piece of clothing out. This way, I'm not just bringing a ton of clothing in and letting them sit. I have so many pieces of clothing with tags on them. I have so many pieces of clothing that don't fit me. I have so many pieces of clothing that don't make me confident. My closet's just a mess. I remember just moving into my home, putting all of my clothing up, going through it all and thinking, what is this? And every single time I get ready for work, every single time I get ready to film, it's almost like, what do I wear? Because I really don't have anything that I like, and I just don't have anything that fits me properly or is my style. So that's that. That is that. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Sometimes it's just not your style. Sometimes the clothing is just not for you. Sometimes having too much really isn't the best way to go. So I really hope that this video was helpful, and I really hope that maybe there was something out of this video that you could apply to your life, and maybe why you think that you don't have anything to wear even though you have a closet full. I know that it is such a small problem. It's not even really a problem. At the end of the day, you want to feel comfortable and confident in what you're wearing. And I mean, if you start your morning off thinking you have nothing to wear, having a hard time styling something, or you're just not comfortable in a piece of clothing, maybe it's time to start changing up your wardrobe. So I really hope that this was helpful. I really hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you did. Let me know in the comments down below if this is something you guys ever felt, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.